We're good. Go ahead.
Okay, another question and answer. Sorry we're running a little late today. It was a couple of technical glitches. But I think it's amazing how we can even do this. Just what we've been doing is just amazing to me. So we haven't had too many of these technical glitches, but we're glad you're here. We know that there's people already online looking at us, and we want to say that, ask your questions anytime, but we have a lot to cover. I wanted to mention that Broadway Upholstery School, even though we haven't had a class up there recently, right, Patrick? It's still, the content coming is amazing. What's actually happened is a few of the classes have gone over the 6. So we're gonna, in the future, we're gonna have 2 classes a week to try to get through some of the content. We have so much content, it's unbelievable. So stay tuned for those classes.
The class is starting Monday. The preview you can see is on the screen right now.
Patrick.
This is a preview from our new class coming Monday.
And that's starring the one, the only, Jimmy, who happens to be with us in the studio audience. And as usual, I can't see him up there with all those people.
I got the cheap seats, Mr. K. Cheap seats. I can barely see you.
We're gonna ask Jimmy to come down because we also have a segment where he's got this quest. Jimmy's on this quest for the ultimate seating, and we understand that he found something today. We just can't wait to see that. But that's coming up. I did want to talk a little bit about the upholstery forum, Broadway Upholstery School forum on Facebook, right, Patrick? Right. And we had somebody posted up in Canada. I think it was what was his name, Patrick? Pennywise.
He's on now. He just said hello.
Hey, Pennywise. We love the photographs that you sent. Such drama, I said. He's got purple seating. I mean, only in nightclubs can you go wild with those colors, right? And I was very impressed with the amount of work that you guys are doing. Wow. I mean, I think I mentioned before, commercial work is quite extraordinary. The labor that's involved and the go-to attitude that you have to have, and I congratulate you on what looks like a great business up there. Here what we do is more residential work. The one that is up here is very interesting. I'll get to that in a minute, but I'm really excited to show you guys this. I might even do a little work if I have time on this beautiful Victorian. This is an original Victorian sofa. How do I know that? It's got the original horsehair. I can't wait to show you. And what I'm going to do on that is keep the horsehair, but I'll show you that in a minute. I wanted to talk about we've gone on the road to the neighboring towns, not too far, to Lexington Arts and Crafts, and we've had 2 successful programs in a row. They're all sold out. We're really happy about that, and we're looking forward to building and developing even more classes off-site over at Lexington Arts and Crafts. One of the ideas that we have over there is to, you won't believe this, you guys, build your own furniture, loom your own fabric, and upholster your own furniture. Can you imagine that? Doing everything right literally from the ground up, including looming your own fabric. It's possible at this place. We have the people to do that. It's amazing what the future holds for us over there, hopefully. And I mentioned Jimmy's segment. I wanted to talk a little bit about, I know there are people out there who are maybe starting a professional career, so I wanted to go over some of the estimates that I get, some of the dialogue I have with my customers to kind of settle on a price and the logistics of a job. I want to get to that in a minute, but one thing I really want to make sure that I'm really happy about, I don't know what it means, I'm not sure what it means, but we hit 1 million views on YouTube. Do you believe that, Jimmy?
So we can finally, pay some bills and.
Well, I'm not sure if it.
Time show for me.
It doesn't work that way. I don't know.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I'm out of here. Where's the door?
You can have 1 million views but not make a penny. It's really, I can't explain how it works, but I'm really proud of the fact that 1 million people have saw this sourpuss on a video. But anyhow. We're hoping that we give good knowledge. I'm not perfect. If you guys, as you guys have seen the videos, we do make mistakes. If we make a mistake, hey, that's only being human, right? So I think that was it on catching up. I think unless Patrick had something else he wanted me to talk about, but I just wanted to introduce something new. So I wanted to read some of these, inquiries for estimates, right? So I got this one, won't tell you where it's from. So she says, attached are pictures of my grandmother's 2 living room chairs which have seen better days. Could I please have an estimate for reupholstering and making them usable again? Another estimate, so this is the reason why I like this particular one. Another estimate I received, so she's shopping, which, tells me right away I need to be competitive, which I always try to be competitive anyhow. Another estimate I received had an additional charge for nail heads and stated you can eliminate the nails and self-welt in place for no additional charge. And then she said, so please let me know if this is also an option for you. So that's interesting. They actually reverse that. Usually nail heads are more money. But the upholsterer, obviously like me, wants work. So he's saying, well, I'll do it for the same price. And so that's exactly what I quoted out, a price for her. I quoted one price, no matter what style you want. You want nails, you want welting, you want double piping, no problem. Same, one price fits all. I don't usually do that. But in this case, I'm trying to be competitive, and I want the job. So I think she's still talking to her brother. I think it's his chairs. So I threw in free pickup and delivery because she's a neighboring town, and I thought maybe that could be enough to sell. What are you doing, Patrick?
John fell.
And so I'm trying to be competitive. So I'm just trying to give you an idea of, the activity that goes on here every single day. It's a battle to get new work, to be competitive with people that are out there. I suppose with all this teaching I'm doing, people are getting, maybe there's more upholstery shops out there that I have to contend with. I don't know, but that's fine. Competition is good, you guys, no matter what. So that was one estimate. I'll go to another one here. Let's see if I can find another one. There's a lot of them. Oh, I did want to read for my students at Lexington Arts and Crafts. If you're watching, I think a few of you are. By the way, if you interrupt me anytime with a question, you guys have ask anytime. But I got a message from the people who run the Lexington Art over there in Lexington, Massachusetts. They're having a show to display furniture. So if you guys are interested, hold on, we have a question.
Pamela asks, do you know when Bernice's online class will be held?
Maybe an answer for me.
Yeah, do we know?
That's coming up soon. We have, the next class is the one Monday with Jimmy. That's going up. And then in between that, while that's going, I'm going to be editing the videos for Bernice's class. We've already filmed a good chunk of it, so it should be going up soon. I don't want to put a date on it, but once I know, I'll put a date out there before I just put it up, so you guys will know when that goes up.
We have upcoming classes, the content, and we can go on for months here, and we're so happy with the content that we're getting from our students and from our guests like Bernice, that I think we have months and months ahead of us here. So you guys stay tuned. And Pam, keep up the good work. I think Jimmy's commented on some of your work on the forum. I think this is the same Pam, right?
Yeah.
That forum has been quite successful, and we're really happy with the reception that has gotten. And Jimmy's an active participant in that. And thank you, Jimmy.
And then in there you'll have the Lexar classes too that'll be going up.
And the Lexan, right? And
that's going to be more of like they can explain what that's going to be.
So that's kind of like those classes are just wild classes. It's like kind of like the Wild West of upholstery, right, Jimmy?
Absolutely, the wildest. I've never seen anything like it.
By the way, I don't know if Patrick has that article about that poor upholsterer. I'm going to announce it now live. That poor upholsterer. There was my niece in Ireland sent me this. It was I'm sorry, I don't think Patrick has it. If you have it, Patrick, put it up. But it was the headlines were, upholsterer shot 200 times with upholstery gun. Surgeons expect him to recover.
Yeah. Well, when you write your autobiography, that's the first thing you're going to come to.
Do you think that's a true story? Was that one of those?
You know what? I still think of the Three Stooges and their gun. Their kind of tack gun, as they might want to be called today.
Jimmy, I have a feeling that 90% of our people watching don't even know who the Three Stooges are, maybe.
Well, I think we got to kind of like birth in a little bit of a clip on that, just to show how that...
You need copyright. We don't want that.
Oh.
So the show over at the Lexington Arts, which we hope that we will feature, actually we're thinking about featuring a video in the show with the class. And somehow,
Like with me, you mean?
well, yeah, no, with the Lexington Arts and Crafts.
I don't wanna
Sorry,
watch
Jimmy, you're not in this
it. I'm
one.
not gonna watch it.
But we're thinking about somehow putting a monitor in a chair and showing the class at Lexington Arts. And I don't think we mentioned this yet. I don't even know if I mentioned this to Patrick. Maybe I did. But really kind of neat and having that as a display, showing the actual class. But we'll see. But the show starts in Lexington, Massachusetts. It runs from Saturday, April 25th, so it's a little away, to Sunday, May 10th. So if anybody's in the area and they want to visit Lexington Arts and Crafts on Waltham Street, let me see if I have an address. I don't have an address, but stop in and see what we're all doing over there.
Will you be there that day in your tuxedo?
I don't know if I'm going to be there.
Serving
I
scallops and bacon, maybe pigs in a blanket.
I know I'm not going to be doing that. I'll be on the receiving end of those.
I'm not gonna go.
So let's see what else I have here for estimates. I think this might be interesting for some people because now some people are going to be getting paid. When you get paid for anything that you do in upholstery, right? That's you're a professional at that point. As soon as you get paid. Let's see what we got. So this is interesting. I won't mention her name because we're not sure if she'd want me to mention it. She says, Kevin, I'm not sure wingbacks from the sent to me.
Well,
and, that's
you
due to...
You use my chair as an estimate.
Yeah, that's true, the one you found. We're going to be getting to that, Jimmy. I know you're anxious to get up here and show your
like
chair.
a very classy chair, something you'd use for...
I should mention now, we don't want you to, commit any crimes in your quest for the perfect seating.
Crime? I don't know what you're
These
talking
chairs are left, they're orphan chairs, right?
Well, yeah, I skipped the idea of the moving day thing, so...
All right, we'll get to you in a minute, Jimmy. Let me just see who else I can use an example here for. Here's another one. Oh, this is a funny one. So this is from a woman. She says, my rabbit is eating his way through our sofa, and I need to do some maintenance. I have 2 throw pillows with deep holes, 1 center sofa cushion with lots of holes, and 2 end cushions and more minor damage. I think this is the rabbit from the Monty Python movie.
Oh, the one that everyone was afraid? What are you afraid of? What right there?
It sounds like a killer rabbit
I
to
think
me.
we have a violent Bugs Bunny there.
So she says, and 2 end cushions with more minor damage. I don't want to do an inexpensive repair job until after my rabbit dies, which hopefully won't happen for a few more years. So I'm seeking some affordable patching and some other solution. Wow. Well, I do sometimes tackle, repair jobs for springs and things like that. But on this one here, I think I would have to pass. I mean, I think the estimate would be too high, and
Well, a little too much patchwork? Is that
it's
what it
just
is?
a little too much. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't think I could do an effective job. I'd like to do a good job too, but that doesn't sound like. I think she needs to get it reupholstered. But she's got a dilemma. She's got the rabbit. She doesn't want to reupholster. I know kind of. You know what I would suggest to her? She should go on to the Broadway Upholstery School, the YouTube channel, because we have some tips on there how to patch, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
she might realize that, like you say, there's only so much you can do before you say, I need to cover this up somehow differently.
So then I have another customer, and I think I'm going to bring this up because a lot of times when you're not working with a professional, and most customers aren't professional, or a decorator or an architect, so they're just clients, and sometimes you really have to speak with them and write up a proper work order and get exactly what they mean. So it usually requires a follow-up text, and then from there a face-to-face. Face-to-face is really important to try to get, so there's actually a few conversations that happen on a job. One is the opening where they contact me in an email, and I write back a little bit, and if they seem like they want to go ahead with the job, if the labor's okay, then I have a meeting either on-site or they come in. So this is the first inquiry from the customer, and it says, hello, I need double welting all around except the seat, single welt. Seat need cushion added down mix. Okay, that's another problem. Would like that. I have fabric, I need a kidney pillow. So there's a lot of discussion. This is a small side chair, but there's a lot from this email, there's a lot that we need to talk about. So this client already had come in. So when he came in, he had a small French style chair with padded arms, with the loose cushion, a loose down cushion, and wood frame for the most part, and kidney shaped, kidney pillow is more like a rectangular pillow, or what I would call a lumbar pillow is what he wanted. So all that had to be kind of weeded out, and so what he's getting is, and he had two fabrics. So he had a contrast fabric that he wanted to use. So we needed to figure out where he wanted the contrast fabric, so I had to give him some design ideas. So he wanted the contrast fabric maybe in the outside back, and I think he wanted it like on the one side of the cushion. So I recommended that he use the body of the fabric for the lumbar pillow. It contrasts somewhat, but not a lot. Anyhow, we had a good conversation, excuse me. And we came up with the proper design, and also the estimate was okay for him. So, but there's a lot of discussion that has to happen, and a lot of communication. I think a lot of times the miscommunications in this business can really cost you a lot of money, so be careful. Take the time to talk to your customer. Let's see what else we got here. We got another estimate here, pretty standard. This was for a, hi, this chair has been attacked by our cat. Oh, we love cats in upholstery, Jimmy.
Do we?
We do.
Well, you said you did.
We do, we love them. Excuse me.
You alright?
Yep, this chair has been attacked by our cat, and also it doesn't match our new couch. We love it though, and would like to consider upholstery. So we asked that people send pictures. I just want to see what this picture looks like. Okay. So when they say a chair, it's actually a wing chair. Wing chairs are usually the biggest project that we have. In the Boston area, we're talking about $900 to reupholster a wing chair for labor, plus fabric. That's the Boston price. And I think that's a medium price for the Boston area. So, but a chair like this, wing chairs will take you, even a professional upholsterer, from start to finish. One person working on it, start to finish, probably about 22 hours if you're fast. I would say between 18 and 22 hours if you're fast. If you times that by, $20 an hour or $50 an hour, just think about it. And that doesn't include if you're offering free pickup and delivery and the time it takes to do that, or the expenses that go into that. So, it is a competitive market. So I think that's it for that. I think what I want to do is, can we go to that segment with Jimmy now, Patrick?
Sure.
Okay. So let me know when that gets up, because I understand that I'm not going to talk, because Jimmy's
Why
going
don't
to.
you introduce it?
So this is Jimmy. I guess I haven't seen this, so I don't know what I'm going to see, but this is Jimmy finding his second chair for the ultimate seating. That's his quest for the ultimate seating, and starring Jimmy, the Boston guy.
Excuse me, sir. Yeah?
Hey, Jimmy, what do you got there?
Well, I was kind of wandering the streets a little bit and found this little item here.
I'll tell you, the upholstery isn't in good shape, but I think you've got to find.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Well, it's not what I wanted it to be. You and I talked about last week.
Well, I know, but it's an improvement over that passing chair last week. You got
Okay.
a nice down cushion.
Yeah.
You know, and it's actually designed very well. But we'll talk a little bit more about that. About can we make this into the king's chair? I'm not sure, or the ultimate seating. We'll
Well, it's
talk.
definitely
We'll talk
set-
more about
yeah.
that. All right, Jimmy, why don't you come on over and let's talk about live what you found here.
Well, it wasn't the best find I had.
I'm wondering why you were. Was that your car that you were checking the?
Oh yeah. It was my car. Yeah. I thought I had the keys there, and well, you know how that worked.
We like to have fun too, but this is an interesting piece that you found.
Yep.
Beautiful. Actually, it's beautiful. It's a side French chair
Okay.
with a down cushion, and I think that you've got some of the elements that we're looking for that ultimate seating. But I have to tell you, I don't think I could spend more than 20 minutes on this chair because
What?
of my weight mainly. Did I mention the king? Had a little calorically challenged, body.
Yeah. In all the movies I've ever seen, the king is
The
kind
king's
of.
always he's
Well, he's not lean and mean, okay?
We got a Jimmy comment on here.
Oh, we got a Jimmy.
I am awesome, also known as Pennywise, says Jimmy's a nut, but I love him.
But he's not.
That's right. I belong to somebody.
Yeah, he's a good sport, Jimmy. But I like that. The chair is definitely worth reupholstering. You might want to consider this for one of your projects in the future, Jimmy.
Okay.
But this is a beautiful chair. I mean, it's got the right elements going. I just want to turn it this way to show people that proper angle, the nice angle back. It's not straight up.
Okay.
A lot of furniture that's made today is straight up.
Now, why is that? But it doesn't.
Because I'll tell you, Jimmy, I think over the years, as we go along, I think the basics are lost, and that's a very basic thing to have a little bit of a lean back on a
But
chair.
don't you, when you're having a straight chair, as you say it,
Yeah.
isn't this kind of the more cushion in the back, a
Yeah.
little more fluff in the back to kind of bring you forward?
We're looking for that in our king's chair, certainly.
Yes.
But this chair would be considered a side chair.
Really?
So
Okay.
it's not heavy seating or anything like that. But compared to the Parson chair that you found last week, you're getting there, man. Keep looking because I think you're going to
God.
hit on it one of these
You're going to
days.
see me struggling coming down Broadway, and.
We don't want you to hurt yourself or get arrested.
But
in your
here's the
quest.
question: when this was found,
Mm-hmm.
why is this not like a formal? I mean, not a formal, but a one that kind of seems to fit more of the traditional seat cushion. You know what I mean?
Well, I can tell you exactly what's in here.
because it seems like it's something they made up, not something that belongs with it.
Let's see it. So we have 25% duck feather,
Okay.
and we have 75% duck feather. So the mixture 25-75.
Mhm.
So it tells me, first of all, the labeling tells me it kind of puts an age on it. I think it might even have a date here. Who knows? Let's see. I could tell you that this was made in High Point, North Carolina. It's a very high-end reproduction. It's not what I would use in an all-down seat. I mean, if somebody asked me, it's not actually all down. What I do is a 50% down and 50% feather mix.
Okay.
And this is a 25% down and 75% feather. It doesn't have the best feel to me, so I can actually feel it. So there's more feather than down in that. So, but if people, it
But
depends on the.
it does come back. I mean, it seems like it's a soft
Yeah,
seat.
but this chair is really for aesthetics. It's not for a long time seating.
Kind of like a chair that might be out in the hallway.
Yeah,
type of thing.
or you have your main body, like your sofa, your fully upholstered sofa, your fully upholstered two, let's say, wing chairs next to a fireplace, and then these in the back of the room, maybe in another seating area with a table in between.
Okay, I got it.
But I think you're getting there. I think that this is a fine chair, and it can be redone as a side chair. But for the king's going to need something bigger that we can work with.
Let me tell you, some of the chairs I've seen some quite different styles out there.
Yeah,
Very nice,
yeah.
but not what I would consider to be. Again, you and I speaking of a lot. kind of a big floppy, like, you know that you have a wide seat, you have your high armrest,
Right.
nice back, nice solid cushy back.
Right.
That's
So-
what I'm.
So beware of the newer furniture. I think your eyes should be on some of the older furniture.
Oh, absolutely.
The newer furniture, what they do is they start with a box essentially. It's just a frame that looks like a box, a wood frame that looks like a box, and then they have padded upholstered pieces that are already like stitched up, and then they're applied to the box, they're trying to put lines or make it look comfortable with those. But it's still a box. It still has the hard edges and things like that. If you look at this piece up here,
Yeah.
how beautiful. Look at all the lines on that.
I
Isn't
like
that
the I
beautiful?
like the woodworking. I like the way it's set up.
Certainly, I mean, it's a Victorian piece, when they used to really take pride in the frame making.
So this is felt.
This is, we're gonna be upholstering this in velvet.
Oh, okay. This is
It's a nice velvet. This
okay,
is the new
what's
material.
This, here? This is like a.
Well, I think we might as well talk about that now. I'm really excited about this project. Now, I want to tell people, especially the professional upholsterers out there that are watching, I don't usually go over old fabric, hardly at all, except when I find a treasure like this. Underneath the fabric that was on this, that I did take off, I found this just on the back, this beautiful horsehair that I just don't have the heart to take apart. I'm going to save it. I'm going to upholster over it, just like the people did before me. And I just want to show you. I'm going to take out a little piece of this, because I want the next upholsterer to kind of have fun with this, to see, to keep this from a historical reason. I want to keep it. So I'm going to tear this. I'm just going to take a little piece like this off. This is a horsehair fabric, you guys. If you can see, I'm going to just pull the fibers out a little bit. But look at that. You can see the fibers. I don't know if you can see that well, but you talk about a fabric that stands up to the test of time. I'm forever talking about horsehair filling, and hardly ever see horsehair fabric. It's so expensive. It doesn't come wide. I believe it comes 21 inches, but you guys can correct me, professionals. It's very narrow, and you need a ton of it to do something like this. But I just want to pull this back a little bit to see. I mean, look at that. Isn't that unbelievable, Jimmy?
Very resilient.
Yeah, feel that. I
Now,
mean,
why is
this
it?
is as old as the frame,
Really?
and I guarantee you, if this stays on long enough time goes by, the only thing that's going to be left is the horsehair fabric on this. The wood's
So
going to
why does
disintegrate
it-
around the horsehair fabric.
Why does it have the feel like a polyester from?
Well, that's
it's the way they.
it's just the way it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's.
Because it has kind of like a
See
slippery.
that? Isn't that nice?
Wow.
Do we have any other do we have questions? Any comments? Don't be afraid, you guys.
So
We have one. Pamela says again, love the French chair, Jimmy. If you find any others, please call me.
Oh.
Oh, there you go,
Oh.
Jimmy.
Now he's going to be furniture hunting for everyone.
Yeah.
I'll take a sectional, please.
Well, you know what? I would like to have a better idea of what's out there. I mean, it's always fun to see what people are throwing out. I see an awful lot of older furniture versus a lot of newer furniture, and I mean, I enjoy working on the older furniture. Much sturdier frame, more class, I think, a little more style to it than they are today. So,
Sure. Jimmy, I think I'm going to put a couple of these tufts in just
Okay.
for people to see. I got one in, I started one. And what I'm going to do is I have a couple of the buttons made. I try to get out of the, usually working in front is the way to work the tufting, but I'm going to have to go off to the side a little bit just to show people.
But I also want to mention, I promised I Am Awesome that we would show the pictures that he sent, of his shop, I would showcase them on this. If you want to come back here in a little bit, maybe you could talk about some of the pictures he sent, maybe do a review of his shop or something.
Do you want to do that now?
That's up to you.
Yeah, okay.
I did promise I'd showcase them on here.
All right, why don't you do that now? We'll come back. Jimmy will come back with me.
Oh yeah.
You can do that, I'm still getting it set up, so.
Oh, okay. We'll do a couple of buttons first.
Let us know when you're ready, Patrick.
Actually, that would be a good opportunity to see, for you guys to see what a commercial shop looks like. It looks like they have tons of space too, which I was a little
Which
jealous.
is- yeah.
A little jealous about that. But
Well,
you
we
do.
could always knock this wall down, Kevin, in the weekend and kind of like Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, let's say you have somebody call you, a theater calls you, which I'm sure this happens to them all the time.
Oh.
And their 500 seats need to be reupholstered, right? You would better have the logistics, you would better have the space to put those 500
Oh,
seats.
yes, yeah, you better
Right?
figure out how to break these things down
And
quickly.
then you have to do a, kind of assembly line, to figure out a way of doing an assembly line to get the job out.
Oh, exactly.
They want their seats filled, that's the only way they make money, so. You really have to have the manpower, the space, the equipment, all that.
Right, and
you
then
know.
of course personnel to kind
Yeah.
of whip this thing out.
So I'm
I'm
gonna
all
do,
set, Dad, and you're.
all right, let's go back and see what Patrick's got in store for us. Some wonderful commercial work. That looks like probably a sports bar, I would say, Patrick. I see the Expos. I see a number 9, Ted Williams, number 9. That could be also for a private client. I'm sure they do private client work. That looks like a custom made. Is it a vinyl? He'll have to tell me if it's oh, here it is. A custom printed Montreal themed vinyl. There you go, Jimmy.
Wow.
The enemy, right, Jimmy? He's a Boston Bruins
Well,
fan.
this it
yeah.
wasn't in the Canadian colors. Well, actually, I don't know if that would really work well, but thank you. That is a nice job.
And then he's got the same. Is that the same fabric or a different fabric? Let's see. Custom printed comic vinyl. Oh,
That's really cool. I like that one.
that
Wow,
is.
that's
that is.
that's original. You can't beat that.
Look at that. I wonder what comics. Can you see, Jimmy, what it says?
No.
That's cool. That's probably for a man cave.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, Patrick.
An Iron Man, I think.
Oh, you got a man cave out there
Somebody
somewhere.
has some great taste in furniture.
And so it looks to me like they do commercial and residential, right?
Yeah.
So, a man after my
Oh, there you
this
go.
is the one that impressed me. I'm looking at this. I said, "What drama? What color?" That looks like it's like Studio 54. What do you think, Jimmy?
Oh, absolutely. I remember those days.
That reminds me of in the Chappelle show, the Rick James skit. Remember? He's in the-
Yeah, but I mean, look at the tufting on the back. Usually, you don't see tufting on the back
No,
of pieces.
and I'd like to know how he did it. That'd be a nice video to see how we kind of put that together.
No, this is cool. This is a channel back woman's beauty salon. So I'm glad we know where that went. I mean, that's beautiful. I mean, look at it. It looks like some Goldilocks or something right there. Locks of her hair or something. Oh, don't listen to me. What do you think that looks like in the back there, Jimmy?
It does. I mean, it looks like actually it looks like kind of wood-like if you
really
look from
beautiful.
a distance. But they did a great job with that.
Yeah, I like the color too. It's nice. And then here we have definitely, what do we have here? Does he title this, Patrick? This looks like a school or something. Oh no, this is a restaurant. He's got a beautiful seating with the channel backs here. And then they have a different fabric for the slip seats that sit on the opposite side. This is really extraordinary.
Oh wow!
Like
Here
this
we
too.
go.
See, this is where you really you can expand your creativity, can't you, on these commercial jobs?
That's a beautiful piece of work right there.
That is nice.
Yeah. Again.
Let's check out his shop.
So that's a hand
Check the,
tufted.
look at this. He's got a huge place.
Yeah, this is nice. I'm
Does
jealous
he
of the
give free
space.
tours? Where is he again?
He's up in Canada.
Oh, we gotta get an address from him.
So I like the fact that he's got space, and I think you need the space. He's got this heavy industrial machines. I mean, this is a different setup than what I have here. He probably looks at what I have and goes, "Hey, he doesn't have hardly anything there."
You're still in the Flintstone era.
I wouldn't say that. It's more of a custom.
Well, okay.
But now look at all the work that he's got. I mean, this is what you need. He's got shelving. He's got I like the way he covers his furniture after he finishes. That's kind of nice. His presentation is fabulous. And it's a working shop, folks. It's a working shop. Remember that. Somebody said, "Oh, Kevin's got a messy shop online." It's a working shop. So, and this looks like he's getting prepped for a new work here. He's got how many? Go back to that, Patrick, for a minute. He's got 1, 2, 3, 2 or 3 air hoses, and he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 stations set up in this area
Wow.
with tools, with the upholsterer's pneumatic tools hanging up. This is the proper foam that he's using. It's a fire coated Cal 117 probably, which is required in Canada, I'm sure, as well as the United States. You can tell folks by the fact that it's blue, right? The white foam, you can use that in residential in this country, but I don't. I use all blue. And this is just a shop, you know, guys. This is an upholstery. This is a working shop. He's got these sewing machines he's using for storage, but so what? And then he's hanging up some furniture on the wall. I mean, this is what you have in a working shop, you know. And he's got a good library here of fabrics, doesn't he? And a good little showroom set up. This is nice.
What's your showroom look like?
Yeah. Well, you know, we have a showroom we can take a picture of. It's not as big as this, I can tell
We
you.
gotta kind of work on that one.
Yeah. And then,
there it is.
And there it is. Well,
Excellent.
thank you so
I
much for
want-
posting. And that's on the forum, right? The Broadway Upholstery School forum. Jimmy had a comment to make.
No, I think that's a great shop, and wow. Let's give a tour.
Oh, I gotta get back. Okay, we're back. And I'm going to try to at least put a couple of these buttons in, Jimmy, before the time is out. And we had a couple of comments, but do
All
we have
about
any
me.
questions? It's all about you.
About me.
Jim, what's going on here?
I'm nuts. She thinks I'm nuts. Well, I don't know what that means.
I think it was an endearing thing.
Really?
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to thread a button with the tufting twine, Jimmy. You need a specific twine to do this.
I was gonna ask you, what
You
is
do.
that?
It's a tufting. It's called a tufting twine,
Yeah?
and it has to be strong enough to put a lot of force on that button with the slip knot. I'll show you that in a minute. So I have a big curved needle here. I'm going to thread both ends. And my first button I have I don't have a button in there, but I have a staple because that's a wood rail in the back. So I started with that, and I start in the middle. So I'm going to stand off to the side here if I can. And I'm going to get, it's all about prepping to where the next button is, you guys. So each button, in the interior at least, has 4 pleats going to it, okay, and away from it, watch. So I'm going to try to get a button in here. But I need to prep my fabric by pulling it up like this, making sure that I have a pleat going in that direction for my next button, which is up here. And then down below, I have to kind of scope out where the hole is, where the button hole is, right here, and then right here. I think I'm almost satisfied with that, Jimmy. Let me just see that for a second. Okay. So keep in mind that these can be adjusted. Jimmy, I want to ask you to pull that through. I'm going to go back there and I'm going to do a slip knot. So let's do a slip knot there. And if you want to see a slip knot, go to the Broadway Upholstery School on YouTube, and we have a video on there how to do a slip knot. The people like it because they can slow it down and speed it up. And then you put a piece of cotton in the slip knot so it doesn't go all the way through.
Oh.
Okay, let's see what that looks like. Not too bad. So you probably should have a regulator handy while you're doing this too, while you're doing this work. And
Why
so
is
the
that?
regulator, keep in mind when we use a regulator, we're not, especially on the velvet, you're not poking through the velvet with the needle. You're using the regulator about an inch up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of take it, pull it down like this, adjust the fabric. See that, Jimmy?
Nice. I like that. I like the tufted look.
Isn't
I've
that
never done
nice?
one before.
Well, maybe you will do one in the future. I think in the future I see that you will do tufting.
Yeah, that's a lesson, definitely a lesson to have.
Actually, I'm going to pull, do I have,
Do you want,
if you could, Jimmy,
yeah?
if you can
I'll
take
take a piece.
Michelle's chair, if you could take your coat off Michelle's chair and bring that over, I just want to show people that.
Okay.
We have a question, Dad.
Okay.
It's from Lucas.
Hey, Lucas.
So he's talking about the classes. So in regards to enrolling for a semester of classes. Will there be a semester that mostly focuses on mid-century repairs? I'm looking at enrolling in some online classes after next month. Mid-century.
So sure, I think mid-century could be reserved in the future for our advanced students, Jimmy. We had that Lucas, that Swan chair that we had on, featured a couple of on the live classes. That went out yesterday. I finished that. I couldn't show that in a video. It was just too laborious to show.
Okay.
But maybe we can feature it with one of our, it could be you, Jimmy. Mid-century is usually a little tougher to do, and that's
Okay.
why Lucas is looking for these videos. But maybe what we could do is feature them in the future. I'll keep that in mind. I'll
Yeah.
definitely keep that in mind.
He also might be interested in more of a custom video we can make for him for that. How you get mid-century stuff in.
Yeah, we got a backlog on our customer. We should say to, is it Erica Patrick, who's
Yes.
still waiting very patiently for us. I have this sofa, it's on hold. The fabric hasn't been picked out for it. That's perfect for her. So we have it, don't worry, we have it queued up. But yeah, maybe that would be a good thing, a custom video for him. But I wanted to point out, this was done by a student. You guys might know her by Michelle. I hope I'm not giving anything away here, Patrick.
No, that's in the future.
But
so.
this is an online class. She has done just such an exquisite job on this.
Very detailed, very nice.
Really
very clean.
really impressed by how the job that she did on this.
Now, did she paint this too as well?
She did.
Okay.
She painted this, and
She matched up the colors a little bright.
I think it's
kinda
great.
The contrast. The
Yeah.
contrast is good.
yeah, I think people wanted something a little different, and they certainly got it. So
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Well, you want to show some colors off.
yeah. So I think I'm going to try to get a couple of more buttons. I did want to point out something. I think I'm going to string some buttons and make a point about having a good button machine, you guys. I know I've mentioned this before, but if you could pan over here maybe to show, this is where we make the buttons, and you really do need a big heavy machine like this. The small buttons, the small button makers just don't do it. And along with the button machine comes these beautiful dies that need to be clean and no burrs on it and really go together well. A good button is one that you can, after you make it, you want to test it like so. John, I'm going to have Jimmy try to pull this apart. Now, Jimmy, I think, looking at Jimmy, I think he could bench press, what, 500-600 pounds?
Oh yeah, I do all
Easy.
the time. Yeah, kind of wake up and jump right into it. 500-600. Yeah.
Can you try to hold this, hold this with your fingers like that,
Okay.
right? I'm going to try to pull the shell from the loop. I can't do it, right?
No.
So that's the test for every button that you make, and because if that doesn't hold, and that you do your whole beautiful tufted back, and you have one button that pops, you know what it looks like?
Crap.
Let me show you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, it doesn't.
So let's say you do Mrs. Jones' beautiful antique,
I know
1820.
Mrs. Jones, and she's scaring the
Right.
crap out of me.
and then a year later, this happens.
Oh.
My goodness, that's just like that. You could cry all the way.
Yeah,
to the
it's like something you can't cover up quick enough.
Well, what do? You have to make a new button, and then you have to, if you wish it was this button that popped, because that would be your nail button, and then you can make another nail button from the front. But if it was one of the other buttons that was held on by a slip knot from the back, right, and you were like right there, you're in big trouble if you can't do a German needle. I mean, a German needle would get it in there. But if the clasp doesn't hold, you end up taking the outside back off to fix it.
I was gonna ask you,
Yeah.
you kind of, was there some type of shortcut, or was there a
There
method?
isn't. So I hand make all my buttons. I think there's almost 100 buttons on this.
What?
So I'm hand cutting, hand making my own buttons because I just want to make sure that they're done right. You can actually send out to have these made, but I don't do that.
You are the bomb.
I check every one.
Wow.
I make sure.
That's a lot of work. 100 of them
It's tough. So do we have any more
What you
questions?
do? I'm gonna have you come back here again.
Okay, we're gonna go back to see what
Pam
Patrick's up
sent
to.
something on Facebook.
Okay.
Pam is a very busy woman. We-
So she's taken a little, Pam says, I've taken most of this little settee apart and I've never seen this kind of upholstery. It looks to be like the upholstery was sewn into the construction of the piece. I can't, including the welding, almost looked to me like it was constructed exactly opposite what I'm used to. How do I tackle this? So you got a problem, a little bit of a problem. I hit a piece like this recently where it was epoxied onto wood and then the wood was put on epoxy. It was really tough. But I'm trying to understand what she has here, Patrick. I'm trying to see exactly what she has. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, is that the bottom? That's the bottom, I think she's showing me. So it's not a sin to devise your own techniques too on a piece like this and use your creativity, Pam. I think you can do it. I think what you're asking me, let's go back to her description, what she says, Patrick. I just want to read that again, see if I got that straight here. So I've taken most of the settee apart, but seeing as kind of upholstery, looks to me like the upholstery is sewn into the construction of the piece, including the welding, yeah. So this is a manufactured piece. And what you're seeing is the easy way of doing it for a manufacturer, but not the easy way for you as an upholsterer. So my advice to you is to look at some of the videos that we've done with upholstered. I think she's talking about the upholstered seat. So it's good. You can make a loose cushion on that. You don't have to do a semi-attached cushion if that's what it was. I think I'm understanding. So here's the thing. You've done enough pieces. Don't be afraid to change the style. So that's my advice to you. Don't be afraid to go against the grain a little bit and go back to the way you would traditionally do this piece. And if you have trouble, let us know. We'll try to send more pictures, and we'll try to answer more questions for you. So I think that's it, right, Patrick? Okay, we're going to close out.
Geez, you kicked us out pretty quick, Patrick. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
So, Jimmy, now we're going to do a segment of musical chairs.
Which one's the cushiest? I still like this one. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute.
Okay, get up. Get rid of this one. He beat me again, you guys. So I think that's going to be it for this live question and answer. Next week, hopefully we'll have the same lively Jimmy with us.
Yeah, you might not, but you might.
See you next time, you guys.
So, 4-way tie.